Today I'm going to do an app review of the Buzzfeed app for iPad. I prefer it over the iPhone app simply because I like the bigger screen. Alright, so in terms of the UI principles, I'm going to start with empower the user. So when you first open Buzzfeed, it has all the articles that they think you'd be interested in. The way they've empowered me as a user is I have previously told them my preferences for what I want to see, which I can change at any time. So I want to see more world news, politics, food, music, entertainment, travel, etc. And I can change those at any time, like I said. And I want to see less business, tech, geeky, sports, whatever. So they save my preferences and they load my homepage accordingly. Another way that BuzzFeed empowers the user is that it's sort of become a credible news source. I mean, the biggest article you see here is the Russian war tourists flooding into the Ukraine. The Russian and Ukraine kind of standoff that's happening right now is incredibly important in the news. And BuzzFeed has become a source of news where people in their kind of 20s and 30s, which I believe is their target demographic, can come and read about a mix of news, including current events and politics. So it empowers me in a way that I would never sort of look at a more stuffier news source like the Washington Post and search through there. Maybe I'm not so keen on CNN. Well, BuzzFeed provides news that's kind of from a source geared towards people my age, towards my preferences. So I'm empowered by choosing the subjects of the articles that I want to read. I'm empowered by being able to read about politics and current events on BuzzFeed. The next principle, I'm going to kind of combine a couple. We're going to do simplicity, color, and aesthetics. So as you can see, the color of BuzzFeed is simply red and white. Even the app itself, just red and white. And we've got a red bar at the top and then kind of white space around each of the articles. Aesthetically, all the articles are organized into rectangles or squares. This makes it incredibly visually appealing. I mean, the screen is even, there's equal white space across everything, so it makes it a real kind of visual treat, I find, because it's good in its simplicity. So if I'm going to choose an article, again, lots of white space makes it really easy to read. They've got colorful photos, use of color within the article, which is very effective. Simple type that's easy to read. One thing I love about the aesthetic of BuzzFeed is the scrolling feature on the side here. So all of the articles appear here, and I can scroll through and choose my next one. I find this is a really good feature because I'm not having to go back to the home feed or the home page every time. Click on a new one, go back, click on a new one. I find it very user-friendly, and that makes it simple as well. I mean, all you do is scroll through here to find articles, scroll down. It's very, very simple to use. I'm going to move next on to consistency. So a lot about the BuzzFeed app is really consistent with other apps that I've used. So in the top corner, this kind of icon with the 3 lines hid there. In lots of other apps I use, that symbol is used to show that there's more, or there's a list of something, or there's extra options or features. So that's incredibly consistent across many apps that I've used. So it's very intuitive again. Scrolling through this, I mean, this little settings icon here, I mean, that's like a universal settings icon for just about everything. As well, when you're in an article, it's got the social media icons at the bottom. It's got a little envelope if you want to email it. This little box with the square and the arrow coming out of it, that's used on just about every Apple application I've seen. So you know, if you press that with the arrow, something's going to come up with more options. So it's all very consistent across many different platforms. The last principle I'm going to touch on is feedback and communication. So as a user, I can rate each article. So just at the bottom, it's got a couple of options. It's got like a simple like, but you can expand that: win, yes, oh my god, ew, old, cute, etc. and I can do fail, trashy, whatever, and I can even do the little broken heart, which means it's awful. You can even comment on the articles. And like I said at the beginning, I can change my preferences for what articles they're feeding me at any time. So overall, it's a really good app. There isn't much room for error. If you search for something, for example, that doesn't exist in their database of articles, good day. Wow, that just auto-corrected to good day drumfire. That was interesting. So it just says, sorry, we can't find any results for that. It doesn't really direct you anywhere else, but it does notify you pretty clearly that there's nothing like that in their library.